Hi, how are you, my friend? Okay, I'm excited to talk about today's. So we're moving on to a different area of creating that foundation for successful selling in your Scentsy business. And one of the ways, another way that you can do that is through parties. Now party, I didn't know if you know this, but Scentsy actually is based on a party plan model. That's why like we have the host rewards and the host credit. That's all designed to encourage people to want to host a party so that they can get their Scentsy for free and half price. So we are. This is like the very, very foundation of Scentsy, our parties. I want to introduce to you 3 different types of parties, and then you can kind of look at them. And what my challenge to you would be is I want you to try each one of them a couple of times. And then as you do that, you're gonna find what your drive is. Maybe you do love all 3 of them, but I've kind of found over the years that people kind of gravitate to 1 or 2 of the models that they really, really love. So I've tried all 3 of them, and I love doing basket parties, but what I love doing most are the online parties. And you wanna know something that was funny? Is I feared the online party for years because I didn't know what to do, or I didn't know what to say, but then I found a model and then I created it, like made it mine, and now I love it so much. And so that's why I want you, is when you're going through this, like you might fear one of these models, but I want you, remember we talked about like fear versus feeling authentic. If it's fear, I want you to try it anyways, because you might end up finding out that that's like the soulmate party of your life that you've been looking for your entire life. So try all 3, and then I want you to go from there, okay? But again, there's so many other ways to do this as well, but we'll talk about those other ways in another video. Today we're going to just be talking about those traditional parties and then give you some ideas so that you can launch in cells and start to go from there, all right? Again, many of these resources that I'm showing you in here will be available in the Google Drive, and so you will be able to access that and get started and start to build out your system. Remember, we want another system because systems are what make our lives happy and bring us organization and peace. So your system for parties. All right, first party I'm going to show you is the basket party. That's been around since the beginning of Scentsy time. Now this basket party can look so many different ways, and even what I show you here, if you don't have these items, guess what? Doesn't matter. You can work with what you already have. It just needs to have basic contents in it, and then you're good. Now, something that I want you to remember is as I show you my stuff, you have to remember I've been around Scentsy for 10 years. I've had time to collect and get these items. So when you see my bigger bag party, I don't want you to panic like, oh, I don't have the money or I don't have those things. Guess what? It's okay. You don't need to do that yet. We'll stay basic. But I want it to be like, as you start to collect host rewards from putting in bulk orders and you get stuff, reinvest those host rewards. Grab yourself some of these things that you're going to see so that you can start to build some bag party kits if that's what you choose to do. All right, we're going to go from, here's an example. Now, what I love about parties and why parties are so good, and maybe I should have said this at the beginning, but we'll do it now. Parties are so good because they help accomplish all the purposes in your business. They help you expand customer base. They help you find new customer. I just said that. They help you expand customer base. They help you find potential teammates. They help you just continue to grow your Scentsy business. And the beautiful thing about parties is there are no bounds. You can party with anybody in the United States. So here's an example of one that would be perfect that you could mail to somebody that's lived on the other side of the country. And the great thing about this is it's a party that you wouldn't even have to have mailed back. So you would save yourself some of that cost. You mail it and they can just keep it. So here, this is just a pouch that you get. I snagged these when it was like back to school time and they were 50 cents a piece. So it's just a clear plastic pouch. It has a catalog in it and it has 5 order forms. And then see, it just has one of each of the new samples from the catalog, and they're just felt samples. That's all it is. And then something else that I would add into this one too is like if I had some body samples from my starter kit, I could stick a couple of those in there, whatever you wanted to put in, but just know whatever you do put in, you're not getting it back. So that's why, for example, there's felt samples in here instead of testers. And so that's all it is. And then it will have, and I will put this in the Google Drive, but there's a little instruction kit that you can put in here as well, that you put in, you take it, you ship it, you mail it. There's your party, done. There's an example. Another example that you could do, and these are actually available in the consultant store. This is another example of a bag party. See? And it looks just like a little carrying case. They can hold it, they can take it. This is great if people want to, like, if it's more It's smaller for people if they don't want to haul around a big bag, but it has everything. And these are like the basic things. And you're going to notice as I show you this that each party has the same basic components. It's just the way that you choose to share it. All right, let me zip this so that way they don't, oh, it's broken. Never mind. All right. So, can you see that? Oopsie. So see, it opens up. It's so cool. So right here, I gave them a few samples. It's got my business card, has the testers, and then on this side, look how fancy this is. On this side, it has the monthly specials, and then over here, it is the order forms. And then it also has an opening where you can put the catalogs too. And so as you guys can see, every one of these components are the same, are very similar. So there's things for them to smell. There's some samples in there. There's a couple of catalogs and there's order forms. So those are the basics of a basket party. And then from there, if you have things that you want them to try, which you'll see in a minute in this next party that I'm going to show you, but you see how basic that is. And then you take them and do it. And now you're thinking, okay, how long do I keep it open for? And all of that. Guess what? There's trainings on all of that. I'm not going to spend time here, but I'll give you resources that you can go and learn more about these parties. I'm just kind of doing a show and tell for you right now. Another way that you could do that same party, if you didn't want to spend the money on one of those totes yet, and this is the way that I did it in my early beginnings, is I did all the same things that were in there, and I put it in a bank bag. Scentsy has bank bags, and they're like $4. But if you had like some makeup bags lying around, any of that will work for your basket party. All right, now these are really cool, and I will put the link, it's an Amazon link on my business supply wish list. So someday when you get there, you don't have to get there now, but as you start to reinvest your host rewards, look how fun this party is. These are so fun for office parties, or like if a person's a teacher, if they're going to be going somewhere where there's like lots of people, these are awesome bags for that. Look how fun. It's a clear bag. And look how fun it is. So what's in here? Again, you're going to see the basic makeups of a party. And this is what I would recommend. So there's testers in here, but you know what you can do with these transition set testers? You don't have to give them all the testers. You could split this one set of testers up. You could put half in a party and half in another party. You could even split it 3 ways if you wanted to. So, but at the party, it just needs to have some testers. And then it has, and this will be in there, but this is the instruction sheet. And then it has the order forms. I always do like 10 order forms in a back party, but I put them on just this little clipboard. Guys, you can get these at the dollar store. Not Scentsy, but you can get mini clipboards. Another thing, this is where I put like some full-size products in here, and they have try me stickers on them. So if they wanted to take it and try it, they totally could. And then they can experience, I try to put products in there that they may not be familiar with so that they can try it out and see for themselves how it works. And then you just put 2 to 3 catalogs in, and that's all it is, but it looks so fun. And then look, I had like just some buddy clips that I have gotten over the years. So I put them on there and it makes it super fun. But that's it, you guys. Like, it's that simple for a basket party. So like I said, don't get stressed out by that clear bag yet, but just know that as you're slowly getting those host rewards that you accumulate and you don't have a host attached, grab yourself some of those so you can start to create those bag parties if that is something that you're interested in. So those are bag parties. Online parties are another fun way, because what I love about online parties is you can see this behind me. This is my, actually here, I'll even move it and show you. This is my online party setup. And so it's already done for me. So the prep work is finished. So now there's just a few things in my system that I do, and the online party's done. But I've actually have some awesome resources for you, because one of the things that kind of hindered a Scentsy online party was the lack of smell, but we have solved that. And so when you see this way of doing an online party, it's going to be like revolutionary for you, and it's totally doable, and it's totally scalable as well. But online parties are so great because, again, your party host could be on the other side of the country, and that's just fine. And that is such an incredible way that you could get customers in all sorts of parts of the United States. So online parties are a way. And then finally, home parties are another way that you can do it if that's like your jam. And when you do a home party, it doesn't have to be crazy and over the top. Like I said, I loved this. Somebody gave their recommendation for food. Keep it simple. That way your host isn't overwhelmed. Keep it sweet, something salty. And then just a simple display. You don't, like, if everything that you bring in for that party, your starter kit would be a perfect thing to take to a home party. You really don't need more than that. Everything should be able to fit like in a tote. That way it's doable. And the thing that I would say with a home party too is, like, when you're presenting, the reason why you don't need crazy and over the top is because that host could potentially be your next recruit. But if you make it look so dang difficult, then she's going to be like, oh, I don't want to do that. That looks really hard. And so instead you want her to be like, oh my gosh, I could totally do that. And I could probably like do it more than that. That's what you want. That's what you're going for. So keep it simple so that number one, you will want to be able to keep going. And number two, other people that are watching you, because they are, then they could maybe be inspired to join and do it too. So those are parties. Those are, like I said, those are just 3 different ways, but there are so many other ways to get sales, which we'll talk about. But that's kind of the foundation of getting sales is through your parties. So there are lots of trainings on that. That's all I wanted to share with you today. But hopefully that gave you some ideas and get you excited. And that's all for today. I'll talk to you later. Bye, friends.